Folks, privileged to be joined by Dr. Larry Sabato, Director of the University of Virginia Center for Politics. And check out centerforpolitics.org and check out Larry Sabato's crystal ball. Great way to stay in touch with everything that's happening. All right, Larry, welcome again, and let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about what's been going on in many states around the country and in the District of Columbia. I think New York, Governor Cuomo was the latest to sign on to this, where they're looking to circumvent, in my view, the Constitution by making the Electoral College kind of obsolete and pledging that all their delegates will vote for the winner of the popular vote. I mean, what do you make of this move?
Well, it really stems from what happened in 2000 when you had Al Gore winning the popular vote by 539,000 nationwide. Whereas, of course, George W. Bush became president because he had the requisite 270 electoral votes, and plus one. He had 271 electoral votes. So ever since then, people who were upset that Bush won the presidency, even though Gore won the popular vote, wanted to make sure that it wouldn't happen again. And the way to do that is to find states that collectively have more than 270 electoral votes, and get them to commit in advance, no matter what happens, that the individual who receives one more popular vote than any other candidate for president will receive 100% of the electoral votes of the states in this compact.
Yeah, how can they get away with it? I mean, I know they're doing it, but I mean, there's bound to be a court challenge to this, isn't there?
I think there would be. Their justification would be that the Constitution does not prohibit these sorts of pacts among states, and in fact they have the leeway under the Constitution to do so, just as the Constitution lets the states determine the method by which electoral college votes are determined. But here's one problem. If you look at the map of the states that have gone along with this, everyone's blue. Everyone's Democratic. To the best of my knowledge, I haven't seen the latest map because this has been going on for years now, but I didn't see a single red state having signed on.
Yeah, no, interesting though, every list I've seen includes New Jersey. Now, whether or not that's true, I mean, I don't know how recent that was. Like you say, this has been going on for a while, but the governor has to sign this. I can't imagine that Christie would have signed on to this, so I have to do some more research on that one.
Yeah, and of course, New Jersey is a presidentially Democratic state.
Yes.
And so I'm just saying there are no Republican-led votes in this electoral college scheme. I tell people, you know, strange things happen, but my guess is this one's going to occur on the 12th of never.
Yeah, right, right. Okay, I agree with you. But I guess it would behoove people who are opposed to this on a constitutional basis to challenge this sooner rather than later. You don't want the election, you don't want this to happen and then try to challenge it after the fact and have even a worse replay than 2000.
Sure, and the key is to keep your eyes open in your own state because it's a major debate anytime a state takes this up. And as I say, it's easy to get it passed, relatively easy in a Democratic state, but Republicans would be loath to approve this anyway, but you want to keep your eyes open.
What about the theory? And Mike Long, the chairman of the Conservative Party in New York, was on with us just a little while ago, and his theory is that this could be good for the Republicans across the country if that were to if the Electoral College were to be replaced by popular vote in general, because he feels it would motivate people who might otherwise sit home in in the heartland of the country, feeling they live in small states, small electoral college numbers, doesn't matter. That state's going to be red anyway. Now, if they feel that every vote literally counts, it might motivate a conservative country to come out and vote. Do you think you put any credence into that?
Well, I do in this sense. You know what's really frightening in our country? Right now, you and I could sit down and we could probably predict 40 of the 50 states easily as to how they're voting. We don't even know the candidates. Right. So naturally, people who live in those states think that their votes don't matter all that much. It's yet another excuse not to go out and vote. It's far better that we had the kind of intense competition we had. For example, in 1976, when a solid majority of states were decided within 5 percentage points, Ford versus Carter.
Yeah.
A much healthier system.
Yeah.
So, I understand that argument, and I suppose switching to a popular vote system might increase voter turnout.
Be very, very interesting. And like you said, this is a very great issue to debate. Larry, thank you so much. Always great to talk to you, sir.
A lot of fun, Steve.
Thank you. Thank you. Larry Sabato, ladies and gentlemen, director of the University of Virginia Center for Politics, virginiacenterforpolitics.org, and check out the crystal ball. Just want to make sure I have that right. Yeah, centerforpolitics.org /crystal ball. And I'm not talking about the crystal balls on MSNBC. I'm talking about your real hardcore crystal ball. All right, just wanted to clear that up, any confusion out there. Interesting, very interesting topic here, what we have going with the debate on, well, it's not a debate. I mean, the Democratic states, or the states that have, and the District of Columbia, are trying to do this and ram it through without debate on this issue, just to throw the election into another direction. So we'll see what happens. Wouldn't it be amazing if this ever did come to fruition and it wound up benefiting, the Republicans? All right, folks, we'll be back with more of the Steve Malzberg Show. But first, you remember when John Wayne won his Oscar? Relive it right here with today's America's Moment.
It was a night filled with stars as Hollywood came out in strength to honor its own at the 42nd Academy Awards. Nominated for Best Actor that year were
Imagine if